Okay, so let me get this straight. CyberLeek spent weeks building this whole narrative about fighting corporate greed, right? About how Rockstar and Take-Two are screwing over gamers with anti-consumer practices, digital ownership, game preservation, all that stuff. They positioned themselves as some kind of digital Robin Hood exposing the evil corporation. And now, according to the latest reports, they're literally monetizing the hype around stolen GTA 6 footage through some kind of paid voting system connected to a cryptocurrency ecosystem. You're telling me the same person who attacked Rockstar for being greedy is now potentially making money off the desperation of GTA fans who just want to see what comes next? Are you kidding me right now? Alright, before we go any further, I need to clarify something important because the title is aggressive, and I don't want to mislead anyone. From what I can tell based on the latest information, CyberLeek isn't necessarily selling individual video files directly. It's not like you go to some shady website, pay $20, and download a clip of Jason driving around Vice City. What appears to be happening is more complicated and honestly more interesting. There's reportedly some kind of voting or poll system where people can influence which GTA 6 footage gets released next. And that system seems to be tied to CyberLeek's cryptocurrency or token in some way. Whether that means you need to own tokens to vote, or spend tokens to vote, or the token holders get more voting power. The exact mechanics seem to shift depending on who's reporting it and when. But the core concept is clear. Money or financial participation is now part of deciding what stolen GTA 6 material the world sees next. And that changes absolutely everything. If you've been following this GTA 6 chaos with me, hit subscribe right now. Because I'm telling you, this story is evolving so fast that by the time you finish watching this video, there's probably going to be 3 new leaks, 17 copyright strikes, and CyberLeek will have started accepting Dogecoin or something equally insane. So how did we even get here? A few weeks ago, new GTA 6 footage started appearing online. And I'm not talking about the old stuff from the 2022 Lapsus X hack. This was newer, more polished, better graphics, more recent builds, gameplay that looked way more developed. CyberLeek claimed responsibility. The clips spread everywhere. Reddit absolutely lost its mind. Twitter went nuclear. YouTube channels re-uploaded everything they could grab before it disappeared. Rockstar and Take-Two immediately started nuking the footage with copyright strikes. Videos vanished. Entire channels got hit, but mirrors appeared. Archives appeared. More clips appeared. The GTA community started watching CyberLeek like a hawk. And then came the manifesto. CyberLeek released this list of demands. Criticisms of Take-Two. Criticisms of Rockstar. Criticisms of the entire gaming industry. Digital pre-orders. Why are we pre-ordering digital games? They can't sell out. Rockstar isn't going to run out of GTA 6 downloads. They're not going to issue a press release saying, "Sorry guys, we're all out of zeros and ones. We need to manufacture more digital copies." It makes no sense. Digital-only distribution. Game preservation. What happens when the servers shut down? What happens to always online single-player games? What happens to DLC you paid for when the service ends? Server dependency. Ownership versus licensing. The whole you don't actually own your game's argument. And here's the thing. I have to be honest with you. Some of these points are actually legitimate. I'm not saying CyberLeek is right about everything. I'm definitely not saying leaking GTA 6 is justified. But the underlying criticism, some of it makes sense. Digital pre-orders are weird when you think about it. You're reserving a product that cannot run out. The only reason to do it is either you want to preload or you're so hyped you can't help yourself. But there's no scarcity. Rockstar has infinite copies. Game preservation is a real issue. Look at what happened with PT Gone Forever because Sony and Konami couldn't figure it out. Look at games stuck on dead servers. Look at DLC that disappears when a game gets delisted. These are real conversations the gaming community has been having for years. But here's the problem. You can agree with someone's argument without agreeing with their methods. You can think Take-Two's corporate policies suck without supporting unauthorized leaks of unfinished development material. Because let's talk about who actually gets hurt here. GTA 6 has been in development for over a decade. Thousands of people have worked on this game. Programmers, environment artists, character modelers, animators, writers, voice actors, mocap performers, sound designers, composers, QA testers, UI designers. The list goes on. Most of these people have nothing to do with Take-Two's business decisions. They don't decide whether GTA 6 gets a physical release. They don't set the price. They don't write the ULA. They're just trying to make the best game they can. And now their unfinished work is being shown to the world without context, without polish, without the presentation Rockstar spent years planning. That's the part that bothers me. So when CyberLeek started talking about consumer rights, I thought, okay, I understand the frustration. I don't agree with leaking the game, but I understand the argument. Then I heard there was a cryptocurrency involved, and I was like, wait, what? Then I heard the cryptocurrency might be connected to deciding which GTA 6 footage gets released next. And now I'm like, hold on, we need to talk. Based on what's been reported over the last couple days, There's apparently some kind of voting system where people can vote on what category or type of GTA 6 footage CyberLeek releases next, and participating in that vote seems to involve CyberLeek's token or crypto ecosystem in some way. Maybe you need to hold tokens to vote. Maybe you spend tokens to vote. Maybe token holders get weighted voting power. The exact details seem murky, and they keep changing as more information comes out. But the fundamental shift is obvious. Financial participation is now part of the leak campaign, and that completely undermines the consumer rights narrative. Look, I'm not saying this proves CyberLeek only cares about money. I don't know what's in their head. Maybe they genuinely believe everything in the manifesto. Maybe they really think they're fighting the good fight. But now we have to ask the question, and it's a fair question. If this is really about protecting consumers, why does cryptocurrency need to be involved? If this is really about pressuring Rockstar to change their policies, why turn the GTA community's desperate hunger for new footage into something that generates financial value? If leaking GTA 6 makes you money or attention that can be monetized, what incentive do you have to stop? These aren't accusations, they're questions. They're questions that didn't exist 2 weeks ago. And here's what I think is actually the most valuable thing CyberLeek possesses right now. It's not GTA 6, it's not the footage, it's not even the leaks themselves, it's attention. Rockstar has spent years creating information scarcity around GTA 6. They disappear for months. Then they drop one screenshot. The internet explodes. Millions of people analyze every pixel. A single trailer becomes a global cultural event. One 30-second TV spot generates 1,000 YouTube videos. CyberLeek has inserted themselves directly into that attention economy. Every clip they release generates millions of impressions. Reddit threads with thousands of comments. Twitter posts that trend for hours. YouTube videos. News articles. Screenshots, frame-by-frame analysis, arguments about what it means, speculation about what comes next, and then another clip drops, and the whole cycle starts over. That's not an accident. That's a strategy. If you dump 100 videos all at once, the internet goes crazy for like 3 days and then it's over. Everyone's seen everything. The story release one interesting clip every people keep coming back. It becomes episodic. It's like GTA 6 leaks somehow got their own content calendar. We've reached the point where stolen development footage has a release schedule, and the community is absolutely hooked. Some people agree with parts of CyberLeek's manifesto. Some think CyberLeek is a hero for embarrassing Rockstar. Some just want to see GTA 6 and don't care about the politics. Others are getting increasingly suspicious because of the crypto angle and the monetization. The community is split, which honestly makes sense because this whole situation is complicated. And I'll admit something. I can sit here criticizing CyberLeek's methods for 10 minutes, but if somebody uploads 5 seconds of new Jason gameplay tomorrow, I'm gonna scrub through that footage frame by frame like I'm working for the FBI. I'm a GTA addict too. We all are. That's why this works. Let's talk briefly about what's actually been leaked, because that explains why people are so desperate to know what's coming next. We've seen Jason. We've seen Lucia. We've seen basketball. Vehicle interactions that look way more detailed than GTA 5. A taser. Aircraft. More of Vice City and Leonida. Radio stations. Bits of the map. Draw distance that looks incredible. NPC interactions. I'm not going to turn this into another every GTA 6 leak explained video because 100 other channels already did that. The point is, the footage that's out there is enough to make people absolutely desperate for more. Every clip answers one question and creates 5 new ones. What's the story? How does the dual protagonist system work? What's the map size? How realistic is the physics? What's the wanted system like? How do robberies work? CyberLeek is sitting on the answers. And apparently now there's a financial mechanism attached to which answers we get next. Meanwhile, Rockstar is trying to shut this down. They've been hitting unauthorized footage with copyright strikes constantly. Videos disappear. Accounts get warnings. Entire uploads vanish. But it creates this insane cycle. CyberLeek releases something. Fans spread it everywhere. Rockstar removes it. Fans archive it and re-upload it. People who weren't even interested suddenly want to see the forbidden footage. CyberLeek gets more attention. Another clip appears. And now financial participation might be entering the loop. This is way bigger than a normal gaming leak. There's a psychological effect happening here. Rockstar doesn't want you to see this as inherently more clickable than unfinished GTA 6 development footage. The takedowns can accidentally increase curiosity. But Rockstar's strategy still makes sense if you think about it. They're not trying to erase every copy from the internet. That's impossible. The footage is out there. Hardcore GTA fans will always find it. What Rockstar is trying to do is make it hard enough to access that millions of casual players don't stumble across it naturally. If you have to actively search obscure Reddit threads or sketchy websites to find the leaks, most people won't bother. So the copyright enforcement still serves a purpose even if it doesn't delete everything. But here's the bigger question. At what point does this stop being about removing individual videos? If new footage keeps appearing, deleting each clip is just treating the symptom. The real problem is, where is this material coming from? How much exists? Who has access? I don't know if Rockstar is running some kind of internal investigation right now. I'm not going to claim they are without evidence. But logically, if leaks keep happening, you eventually have to focus on the source, not just the uploads. And that brings us to 2022, the Lapsus Solar hack. Ariane Curtage, that massive breach where a ton of early GTA 6 development footage got dumped online. Rockstar confirmed it was an unauthorized network intrusion. The footage was real, and Curtage ended up facing serious legal consequences in the UK. Now, very important, I am not saying CyberLeek is Ariane Curtage. I am not saying CyberLeek is connected to Lapsus. I'm not implying there's a connection unless there's actual evidence. I'm bringing up 2022 to make one point. This isn't just an internet game. This can have real-world consequences. The community might treat it like entertainment, but law enforcement and corporations don't. So who is CyberLeek? Nobody knows, at least not publicly. There have been claims. There's always someone on Twitter saying they figured it out, but I haven't seen any credible confirmation of CyberLeek's identity. If that changes, it'll be huge news. What we do know is that the real leaks have created the perfect environment for fake leaks, fake CyberLeek accounts, fake countdowns, impersonators, scammers. So let me be very clear about something. Do not download supposed GTA 6 builds from random websites. Do not send cryptocurrency to accounts claiming they'll give you exclusive footage. Do not install random executables because someone promised you playable GTA 6. You think you're downloading Vice City and 3 hours later someone on another continent is buying a yacht with your credit card. Be smart. Now let's get back to the core issue, the monetization. CyberLeek criticized corporate greed. They attacked anti-consumer practices. They claimed to represent gamers who are tired of being exploited. And now there appears to be a financial system growing around the attention generated by stolen GTA 6 material. That's the contradiction. Again, I'm not saying this definitively proves CyberLeek only cares about money, but it gives us an extremely legitimate reason to question the motivation. And here's where it gets interesting. Let's talk about incentives. If releasing GTA 6 footage generates attention, and attention can be monetized through crypto, followers, donations, or whatever system is in place, what incentive exists to release everything immediately? Almost none. You blow your entire load at once, everyone sees it, and the story ends. But what if you stretch it out? One clip. Wait a few days. Let the community go crazy speculating. Hold a vote. Release another clip. Rockstar tries to delete it. More attention. More coverage. Another vote. Another clip. I'm not saying that's definitely the strategy, but the monetization model creates that incentive structure, and we have to acknowledge that. Does controversy itself become financially useful? Does every Rockstar takedown actually make CyberLeek more valuable? Does every day they trend increase interest in the token? These are uncomfortable questions, but they're real. Here's something interesting. If there are actual game preservation advocates out there who agree with some of CyberLeek's consumer rights arguments but reject the leaking method, that tells you something. Even people fighting for the same goals are saying this isn't how you do it. Maybe you should listen. Let's talk about the developers again, because this matters. CyberLeek's argument is aimed at corporate policy, Take-Two's business decisions, Rockstar's distribution strategy. But the material being leaked is the work of thousands of normal people who spent years creating it. Artists who modeled every building, programmers who coded every system, writers who crafted every line of dialogue. And here's where I draw a hard line. Gameplay mechanics. I'm curious. Map? Absolutely. Cars? Yeah. Planes? Sure. Radio stations? Yes. But story spoilers? No. Lucia's fate, Jason's fate, major betrayals, character deaths, the final mission. The ending? Absolutely not. We have waited over a decade for this game. Nobody should have GTA 6's biggest moments ruined, because some poll decided story footage would generate the most engagement. If CyberLeek crosses that line, they lose me completely. And I think they'd lose a huge part of the community, because at that point it's not about consumer rights anymore. It's just destruction. So where does this go from here? The question used to be, what will CyberLeek leak next? Now the question is, what happens if leaking GTA 6 is financially rewarding? Because that changes everything. If attention creates money, and GTA 6 creates massive attention, and Rockstar takedowns create even more curiosity, and curiosity drives more attention, you've created a feedback loop. CyberLeek leaks. Rockstar deletes. Fans search for mirrors. CyberLeek trends. More people discover the campaign. Token interest potentially increases. Another vote happens. Another release appears. Rockstar reacts. Repeat. And here's the darkest question. If CyberLeek actually has access to a lot more material, what happens when ordinary gameplay footage stops generating enough attention? Do they escalate? Do they move toward more shocking content, story missions, major character moments, ending footage? I hope that line never gets crossed. I genuinely hope it doesn't. But the monetization model creates the question. Let me bring this home. CyberLeek said this was about consumers. They criticized corporate greed. They wanted Rockstar and Take-Two to change their practices. Fine. Then keep money out of it, because the second people can financially participate in deciding which stolen GTA 6 footage appears next, your credibility takes a massive hit. You can't attack Rockstar for exploiting gamers while potentially monetizing their desperation for information about the most anticipated game in history. That's hypocrisy, and people see it. Maybe CyberLeek genuinely believes the manifesto. Maybe some of those consumer rights arguments are sincere. I honestly don't know. But if the GTA 6 leaks themselves are becoming financially valuable, we need to stop asking